So, good morning, everyone. You can hear me? Yes. What is on the back? You can hear me? Yeah, terrific. That's great. Yeah, welcome to Munich. Welcome to the Munich Quantum Software Forum. We are thrilled to have you here again. But when we say we, let me quickly say who we are. We are the chair for design automation at the Technical University of Munich. And I promise I'll just make a brief introduction so that you know the people who are running the show here, who they are. We're actually experts, or our history is that we're actually experts in design automation for classical certain systems, you know, embedded systems, the smartphone, things like that. And then when working on those topics, after a while we recognized, well, when we mastered how we design embedded systems and, you know, aircraft controllers and smartphones and smartwatches and things like that. And then we learned about with this kind of expertise, you can also, you know, design microfluidic devices, nanotech, and also actually a really cool project we're currently working on train control systems. So whoever came by train to Munich and had a delay, let me just say we're working on it. So this is what our history actually is. But of course, and that's why we gathered here, we also work on quantum computing, and with this expertise from design automation, we just got excited about the technology, and we learned we can use those expertise to develop quantum computing software. And we are heavily involved in that. We're doing a lot of open source tools, and we're trying to, you know, spread the word to get people into the community, to show experimentalists and physicists how we can do better software. And then we're doing this in special sessions. We're giving tutorials, we're organizing workshops, and then now this event. And the origin of this event is actually quite funny because, of course, we had one of our typical projects, funded projects by the European Union in this case. And then, you know, in these projects, you once in a while have to do dissemination events. And then usually we thought we're doing that as always, well, we just invite a couple of peers and colleagues, we have a nice workshop, we're exchanging ideas. And then we just said, okay, let's reserve some seminar room in our chair, have those guests, have some talks, have some great discussions. And then we started planning that, and then last year we did it for the first time, and we ended up with a crowded room like this one. So it really went a little bit AVOC, but it's great because it showcases that there's an interest in quantum computing software, and I'm really, really happy, and we're really thankful that you came from all over the world to actually participate in this event here. Before we kick off the event, we talked a little bit about us. Now let's very quickly talk about you, and I find that very, very interesting. You know, you might remember a week ago or so, we sent you an email asking you a couple of questions about you, what's your background. And it is really interesting to see the results, to understand a little bit what your folks here, what your backgrounds are. And first of all, first message is, who are you? You're more than we could cover, and we really have to find a solution for that. We have over 150 to 200 people on a waiting list, which we could not let in, which is really, really annoying because, yeah, we have to find a better room for that. You wouldn't believe in Munich, in a city like Munich, how hard it is to get seminar rooms like that. And to be honest, how expensive actually it is in Munich to find a place like that. But we're working on that. But in any case, many, many thanks for this huge interest. It, as said, shows how big and how growing this community is. Now, who are you? And I still puzzled by that a little bit. Those are your backgrounds. And I have to admit, I'm a computer scientist by training, and I always thought that in an event which has software in its title, you would expect the computer scientists are the majority. And only last year, I was puzzled by the fact that the physicists are still the majority here. And don't get me wrong, I like you guys, but I'm still wondering why is in the software forum this computer science department so not the majority, but and in fact, the relation of physicists even increased this year. So I'm not sure if this forum sort of like does something wrong, but apparently we seem to attract more physicists than computer scientists. We should, as a computer science community, the computer science community should think about that. But still, what it shows really, it's a purely interdisciplinary audience here. What I'm really, really happy also, of course, we are researchers, it's a kind of a research event. Of course, we have research centers covered, universities covered, but I'm really impressed that almost half of the audience is from startups, from company. Also, this shows, you know, when I started working in quantum computing 15 years ago, nobody outside the research bubble was actually interested in that. And now we are running events where almost half of the participation is from industry. Wow, this is cool, isn't it? So I think this is really nice development. Also really cool, of course, lots of PhD students, developers. I'm kind of impressed by that. Don't you have some companies to run or whatever? So 90% of management, wow. So again, really great, diverse thing. And last stat, very interesting. Most of you are still relatively new to the field. So welcome to the community. Please stay in the community. I hope you like it. It's exciting for you. Really cool. I hope we have a really diverse representation of people here in the room. Really cool. And then final stat, just so like a little bit, here multiple answers where possible, what you're interested in, obviously, algorithm, simulations, compilers. So to all the speakers for the next days in the room, if you want to change the slides based on those topics, go ahead. Bettina, last minute changes, maybe you want to think about that. This is what you're interested in it, and of course, in the talks, in the software pitches, in the posters, in the discussions, feel free, of course, to talk about these topics. Now a couple of organizational things here at the forum. Of course, the program you all got hopefully a welcome back, which includes the program. We're already running a little bit behind. I'm German, I hate that, and so we figured it out that we managed that in the breaks a little bit. But I promise we try to stick to the program soon. We have this lounge area over there. Please use that. We got power plugs there if you want to do a quick hack session, something like that. Of course. Not everyone has to do that, it's also not that much space, but feel free to discuss, to have some hacking sessions, to check out tools, use that if you want. We're going to have, after the lunch break, we're going to have the pitches here, and the pitches then also will be presented in posters there, so please make use of that. The most important thing, of course, Wi-Fi access. For those who have an EduRoam account, you can simply use EduRoam. For everyone else, this is the password. You may want to make a quick photo out of that, or we also send it out in the email. And of course, you have probably seen that there are going to be there's a camera, so we're recording the talks. This is a courtesy for all the people who didn't got a spot, who are on the waiting list, that we at least can send them the recordings of all the talks, and there are going to be photos. So if you have a problem with that, get yourself a face mask or something, then you should be fine. Otherwise, we're assuming that you're there. Then one of the small F-ups we did, and the information I sent out earlier this week, we said there's going to be a happy hour on Monday. I'm happy that I sent it out on Tuesday, so that nobody showed up on Monday. Of course, we meet today. So, as I said, it's a free event. The budget was a little bit limited. We couldn't afford, hosting a dinner for all of you, but at least we want to provide you some sort of an informal gathering. It is not ideal, but it is what it is. If you're interested, and if you want to have after work drink, we invite you to our premises in downtown. A little bit tricky again to get there. You have to get back to Munich, and then from Munich train station, you take the U2 towards Feldmoching, and then you're there. And now the tricky part begins. From there, you go to the main entrance of the Technical University of Munich. From there, you cross the courtyard. Then you see this. Then you take this door, and then you go to the 4th floor. And if you succeeded in that, your award is going to be a beer or a Coke or whatever soft drink you like. We've got some snacks. If you're there, go there. Bring your name tag. We don't want to have all the strangers from downtown Munich in our premises. But if you're there, would be great. Let's see how this works out. A little bit more spontaneous. We tried it out last year. The building didn't burn down, so I consider it a success. So we tried this year again. Make a photo or ask us later on if you have troubles finding us. Or an alternative also would be just following some of our team or just the crowd to our premises. That's for the evening. And then another final thing, probably a little bit stupid thing, but I like it anyway. When our group is traveling, participating in conferences, workshops, events, we like to send some greetings back home. And because of that, we also prepared a small thing. We want to encourage you to that. It's old school. I know you could also write an email, but we're doing it old school. We prepared some sort of postcards. We put one of the postcards in your welcome baggage. We have plenty of further postcards at the registration desk. The idea is simply take the postcard, write some nice greetings, put the correct address into, I'm not sure, most of you should know how it works, on the right-hand side, put the address, and if you put this postcard into the mailbox we have at the registration, we will make sure that it's properly stamped and actually reach its destination. So I don't know if you want to send that back to your group, your family. I'm pretty sure your husbands and your wives eagerly wanted to know what you're actually doing here. So this is your chance to say a brief hi back to your folks back home. And then also, probably a stupid thing, but we're doing it anyway, photo op, like we have this kind of poster printed out here right next to this door, and we consider that as a photo op. If you want, put yourself into that, make some selfie, post it online on Facebook or whatever you young guys are doing these days. This is also something, last year we did that, and it was completely misused that people started signing that damn thing, which I think was a terrific idea, so let's do this as well, and we have a cool summary of all the participants, and you can use your signatures to buy lots of washing machines as well, so win-win I would say, so please do that. And of course, if you post that, you're not real social media experts, but if you post it, you may want to consider using the hashtag MQSF, and then people may catch up on that as well. Those are the organizational things. One final thing, I really have to do a couple of things, because this is of course an event which costs money, and we have to afford for that. A huge thanks to the Technical University for allowing us to do that, and to the ministry here in Bavaria, which support our chair, from which we drain some resources out of that. Most of the event is covered by an ERC grant, so many thanks to that as well. And of course, here we in Munich, we are all part of the Munich Quantum Valley, a huge initiative, more than 400 researchers across the spectrum, from experimentalists to end users to computer scientists, who support our chair as well, and who also agreed to support us here. So many thanks to all of that. All of them, and most important, and maybe I can ask you for a brief round of applause to my fantastic team who helped me out setting that up. If I may ask you to give them a hand.